So I'd like to invite we have two speakers who are going to give closing remarks. That's Dr. Alan Chana and Reverend Jane Jilani, if she's here. Reverend Jane, are you still here with us?
I am.
Okay, great. So before I hand over to you, I'd just like to thank everyone again for their participation, for their patience. It's been a long time. It's been more than 3 hours. Thank you so much. And I hope you've learned. And I'm happy to see all the contacts being shared. We'll definitely share the information and the presentations with you. And we're also going to share, we're going to organize for networking. I saw the someone sharing about the Kenya Faith Tree Growing Committee, and we'll definitely connect to that. So over to you, Alan and Reverend Jane, and now maybe you can give in 2 minutes, 1 minute each or 2 minutes each, some closing remarks on what you think is the way forward, what are the opportunities, and I'll start with you, Reverend Jane. No, I'll start with you, Alan, sorry. Yeah, what do you think is the way forward when it comes to the opportunities, faith-based restoration in Kenya and faith-based approaches in general?
Wow, thank you so much. I think, this has been incredible. It's been incredible also how this webinar has just come out. And I think in that you can see the dynamic of the synergy. I think also the way, just observing how you, Laura, and Dawn and the ICRAF regreening team have worked with some of the faith groups, maybe like Minda Trust, to improve their, to bring them into this, national, bigger forum, that synergy of getting the visibility, getting the understanding and the insight. So I think it's really building on the synergies, as Mika was saying, pointing out, and I'm guilty of this. I mean, I'm one who's planted trees and they've died. And, you see one species which grows and the other species has surprised me that it died, and have not known why. And I think without that close partnership with the restoration community, whether it's ICRAF or KEFRI, these organizations, we may be planting millions of trees and finding that we're not succeeding. So that, whereas the technicals, they so much need the community, the moral influence, the passion. So the synergy, I think, Laura, I mean, just fostering the synergy, that idea that Mika shared, having a restoration guide for faith communities, what an amazing resource that could be. So maybe we need to have our follow-up working groups and see how we can build on the synergies that are coming out and have these concrete programs that we can work on together, like the restoration guide, like more conferences and getting out into the field together. As Jane was saying, we can do the training. We don't need to be in hotels. We can be in a mosque somewhere, and the movement can grow. So growing the movement. So this has just been an awesome springboard for that. So thank you so much. Thank you very much indeed. It's such a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Alan. I've just realized that maybe before Reverend Jane closes, I think, Katha, if you want to say a word or two as one of the leads for the group, that would be great. Just a sentence or two, what you think needs to be done.
Thank you, Laura. Actually, I would echo what Alan has said. What we have seen works is really building partnerships, because what one group has or what one organization has, the other doesn't have. But together, you join them and you can accomplish what would otherwise not have been accomplished. So I would encourage creating partnerships, and I think that's a good way to move forward. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Nkatha. Reverend Jane, you've been honored to close the meeting for us. Yes.
Yeah, what I like is that. Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, what I like to add here is that I've heard that we should work collectively from Mika, and that is good. And I've also heard that we are all co-laborers. in this stewardship that God has given us over earth. And so I also like that there should be connectivity between researchers and human rights defenders, whom we didn't hear much, and religious leaders, because we have been given a responsibility by God. And from the hearings we have had the different roles that faith-based action groups are doing. And I think going forward, we need to have an interface with the scientists. And as Mika has said, we would then be able to do local level tracking, yeah, knowing who is benefiting where, at what time, and monitoring, I think, is a very important aspect of this work that we'll do together collectively. And so mechanisms must be put in place where the faith-based action interfaces with research and human rights defenders and the government. And I'm glad we are having this conference coming 24th, 25th, because it's a God-given responsibility. And whether it is the government of the day, whether it is the devolved government, and us in the faith, and then human rights defenders, and yeah, everybody, just children, youth, women, men, associations, they should all come on board. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Reverend Jane, and thank you everyone for this, for your participation, for your engagement. I hope it was a useful, you learned a lot, and now you'll be thinking of integrating a faith-based approach or supporting faith-based communities in their restoration efforts. So thank you all, and have a lovely afternoon.